Finley. Rob, let's start in the NFL. And we know that Carson Wentz, I like to call him Wentzy, going to be healthy. Jokingly, I didn't know he was going to get hurt, in the second or third day of training camp. But he's out for 5 to 12 weeks with the foot surgery. And there is talk, Rob. Remember, he's with the Colts. Last year, the quarterback for the Colts was one Phillip Rivers. Now, yes, Phillip Rivers is all of 39. All of 39. He's so much of 39 that he will be 40 in December. But there is talk that the Indianapolis Colts should go ahead and sign Phillip Rivers as the replacement for Carson Wentz. Look, he led them to the playoffs last year. They lost in a tough game to Buffalo. And the argument goes, he's still pretty good. He played, fairly well last year. This is a team that's built to win now. Even though nobody thinks of them as a Super Bowl team, but still, they're thought of as a playoff team. So don't waste, the first half of the season or however long Wentz is out by playing Jacob Eason or any of these young guys who, won't get you to the playoffs. Go get Rivers. And here's the other part of it, Rob. The thinking is that unlike bringing in a Nick Foles, which would mess with the psyche of Carson Wentz, you bring in Phillip Rivers, there's no controversy. There's no, now he's going to be the court. No, this would be a stopgap. He's not thought of. He's not going to be the quarterback of the future. You don't have to worry about him being around next season to take your job or challenge you for your job. So mentally, it shouldn't mess with Carson Wentz. And so that's the argument for Phillip Rivers. And Rob, he was asked about it yesterday. He's coaching high school football in Alabama, where he's from. And he said that, hey, I'm staying in shape. I think he said, though, he wants to finish coaching the season. He talked about coming back in December or January, which to me kills it. But, I'll get into that after you speak. But what do you think of the whole notion of going to get Phillip Rivers?
No way, no how. I would say have fun in high school coaching. There's a reason. If he was any good, they could have held on to him if they really thought he was going to get them over the hump. He's old man Rivers. I mean, come on, Chris. I think that's a bad move. I would look around to do something else. I know he knows the system and he played there and whatnot, and I get the whole Carson Wentz psyche, but I don't think he could play anymore. I don't think he was that good, and I think he's an old 39, and I think it would be a disaster for them to go back to him. He retired. Let him stay retired. That's where I'm at on him.
I agree with you that I wouldn't do it, but for different reasons. And my reasoning is that Phillip Rivers himself said, hey, maybe I'll stay in shape. Maybe in December or January, I'll be open to playing for a team. If I'm the Indianapolis Colts, why would I want to bring him on in December or January? First of all, by then, Carson Wentz may be healthy and playing. Or by then, we're out of the playoff race because their first 5 games are really tough. They got 5. They opened the season with 5 hard games. So they could be done fairly early. By the midpoint of the season, it's looking like it's over for them. Or if by some chance, whether it's Wentz or Jacob Eason or whoever's playing well, and they're in the playoff race, why am I going away from that? So if Phillip Rivers had said yesterday, hey, I've been staying in shape, I'm coaching football, so I'm out here throwing it around the field and I'm feeling good. And, if a team calls me, I might consider it. I'm in good shape. I could be ready. That's different. Because if I could bring him in tomorrow, I'll be honest, Rob, it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I think it could be fine. But December, that kills it for me. So to me, it's over now. There's no reason to talk about it if he's not ready to come back now.
Right. It's now or never. I agree with that, but I'm just not interested in him. Is there nobody else who could throw the football on this planet? I mean, does it have to be Phillip Rivers? Well, it's interesting you
mention that because in San Francisco, look, we know who the quarterback of the future is there, right? It's Trey Lance. There's no doubt about it. The rookie out of North Dakota State that they moved up to get in the draft. But right now, the incumbent is Jimmy Garoppolo, who, Rob, all he does is win. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady. But all he does is win. He's 22-8 with the 49ers. And that same 49ers team, Rob, when he, over the last 4 years, that he's racked up a 22-8 record with them, Kyle Shanahan coaching them the whole 9 yards, guess what? They're 7-27 without him. So say what you want about him. They handed the ball off throughout the playoffs, right? They didn't let him throw. Whatever. You were within 8 minutes of a Super Bowl title with Jimmy Garoppolo.
And that's when you should have been running the football.
Right
then and there.
Yeah, he could have made
the
throw to
decision.
Sanders.
Right.
But still, you're right. Shanahan screwed things up. Now you want to throw?
Right. It didn't
You've been running all game and all playoffs. Now you want to throw?
It didn't even make sense like that. And that wasn't even no second guess. You watching that game going,
right.
What are they doing? Like, really?
I was happy because I had picked the Chiefs, but still, you're right. It was like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, Garoppolo, look, they are raving, Rob, raving of the writers who are watching practice. Shanahan gave Lance first team reps today, which he said just yesterday he wasn't going to do, but he does it today. They are raving about Trey Lance. And so you wonder, could you go out and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo if you're Indianapolis? So that could be a possibility, but let me throw this at you, Rob. Who do you think the Niners should go with this year between Lance and Garoppolo?
If Garoppolo's there, you got to go with him. I mean, I think you start with him. Just what you talked about, his record. If you're serious and you think that you have all the other elements to make a run in the NFC, you know, I don't know how you go to a unproven quarterback in that situation when you have, you know, a guy who got you to the Super Bowl, right? Not 4 years ago, not 5 years ago, got you to the Super Bowl. A couple years ago.
I hear you. And look, a rookie quarterback has never led a team to the Super Bowl. Never. In the 100-year history of the NFL. Now, maybe that'll change one day. I mean, these rookies are coming in playing now a lot earlier, but it's never happened. And, Rob, on top of that, Trey Lance has played one game in like the last almost 2 years. And that game was at the FCS level in the Missouri Valley Conference. So that's a heck of a jump. And like you said, you've got a guy that can win football games. You've got a guy that the players believe in, right? They were raving about. They gave this guy, they made him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history based off of 5 games. So I'm with you. Look, if Lance is just looking like the best thing since sliced bread, I mean, I guess I get it, but I don't think he's looking that good, and I don't think Garoppolo's looking that bad. So I'm looking at Garoppolo. Unfortunately, it's a chance he gets hurt because he is injury prone. That's the whole reason they were looking for a new quarterback anyway.
You know, that's like everybody now. You know, with the injuries, Chris, what's happened to sports? Everybody gets hurt.
We've talked about that. The better nutrition, the better weight training, the better travel, the more rest, and they get hurt more. In everything, baseball, basketball, football.
Everything. There used to be baseball players, Chris, used to play 160. Like think about that now. Yep. Play 160 out of 162. You know, summers in those uniforms in St. Louis and hot places like that, playing 162.
Complete games.
And pitchers
we talked about it with DeGrom.
Right.
DeGrom pitched 6 innings a night, and he's hurt.
Right. Dwight Gooden pitched 16, Chris, complete games.
Yeah,
16 of his 32 starts, complete games. Hello?
And
with no pitch count.
I used to think, Rob, but, you know, low management and playing fewer minutes and all that. These guys are playing longer now. They're playing, longer. Isaiah Thomas played what? Maybe 12 years, 13 years. Bird played 13 years. But it was just those guys, Rob. Because Kevin Garnett played, 20 years? Something like that? Vince Carter played 22. Stockton and Malone played 19 and 20, something like that.
I was going to say, yeah.
Jason Kidd. So it's not the load management. It's just dudes keeping themselves in shape or just your physical makeup, whatever it is. So I don't know that we can even say this allows guys to have longer careers. So
I don't think it's a proof positive. I agree.
Right. But yeah, I think you go with Garoppolo. Unfortunately, like I said, it's a good chance he gets hurt anyway. Then you can throw in Trey Lance. But play Garoppolo. It could, Rob, I could see this being, and I'm not saying Trey Lance is going to become Patrick Mahomes. But I'm just saying, remember, they sat Mahomes for a year. He was wowing them in practice, right? And they played Alex Smith, made the playoffs, and then they go to Mahomes, and, the rest is history. So I could see that situation playing out there in San Francisco. Garoppolo's one, so I would go with him.